Last week, you spent 11 minutes comparing prices on a $32 air filter for your car. You read 3 reviews. You found a version for $28 with free shipping. You felt good about that. Responsible. That same week, you tapped your card 63 times on things you can't specifically name right now. Coffee, a lunch, something on Amazon that already arrived and you barely remember ordering. The air filter saved you $4. The 63 invisible taps added up to hundreds of dollars, and you couldn't tell anyone where that money is. One person, hyper rational about the $4 decision, completely unconscious about the $400 pattern. That contradiction isn't a character flaw, it's a design feature. And there's a 120-year-old Japanese system that was built to fix exactly this. Here's the invisible problem. The biggest leak in your financial life isn't a single bad purchase. It's the cumulative weight of hundreds of purchases you never consciously made. Many households make hundreds of financial transactions per month, and the vast majority happen on autopilot. That's not an accident. Modern payments don't just make buying easier, they remove the moment where you would have noticed you were buying. The purchase happens faster than your brain can file it as a decision. Every layer of convenience is a layer of unconsciousness. Here's what I'm going to show you. A Japanese budgeting system that many people use to meaningfully increase their savings rate by making spending visible again. The one number that reveals how much money is invisibly leaking from your household every month, and exactly how to set this up tonight in about 15 minutes. If you want more systems like this, simple, analog, and hard to game, subscribe. I'll keep bringing you tools that make spending visible again. Now imagine you're spending as a river current. Right now, you're floating downstream. Money moving under you constantly, smoothly, silently. You're not drowning. You're not in crisis. But you're drifting. You look up every few weeks, check your bank balance, and think, I thought I'd be further upstream by now. Kakeibo is the act of dropping anchor, not to stop your life, but to pause, look around, and decide whether this current is carrying you where you actually want to go. Kakeibo, literally household financial ledger, was introduced in 1904 by Hani Motoko, often credited as Japan's first female journalist. It's a pen and paper system where you physically write down every expenditure by hand. No app. No automation. That's not a limitation. That's the entire mechanism. The pen is the anchor chain. Every line you write is a link that slows the drift. And the formula is disarmingly simple. Kakeibo flips the sentence. You don't ask, what can I save after life happens? You ask, what does life get after saving happens? Savings isn't the remainder, it's the first deduction. Here's where it gets interesting. Let me walk you through finding your own invisible spending number. Your take-home pay, say $8,000 a month. Your fixed expenses like mortgage, utilities, car payment, insurance, subscriptions, say $5,200. That leaves $2,800 for variable spending. Now, of that $2,800, how much can you specifically account for? Groceries, yes. Gas, sure. That restaurant Friday night, fine. But for a lot of people, a few $100s a month ends up in transactions they can't really explain. That's your invisible spending number. For a household earning $100,000 a year, that's roughly $5,000 to $8,000 annually vanishing without a memory attached. Now, let me show you what happens when someone actually plugs that leak. Sarah, 34, project coordinator. She and her husband Kenji started Kakeibo in January. They didn't cut anything dramatic. No canceling subscriptions they loved. No eating rice and beans. They simply wrote every purchase down by hand in one of 4 categories Kakeibo uses. Survival like groceries, gas, medicine. Culture like books, museums, streaming. Optional like dining out, new clothes, impulse buys. And extra for unexpected repairs or gifts. By the end of month 1, they found $940 in optional spending they genuinely didn't remember choosing. Not regretted. Didn't remember. By month 3, they were saving $720 more per month without feeling deprived. That's $8,640 a year. If you invest $720 monthly at an average 7% return over 15 years, that grows to roughly $228,000. That money was already in their budget. They were just losing it. Here's the uncomfortable incentive hiding in plain sight. This isn't conspiracy, it's incentive design. In recent years, Visa has processed over $13 trillion a year in payment volume. Their revenue grows when transaction volume grows. Apple Pay, Tap to Pay, One Click, innovations that reduce friction, increase transaction volume, which translates into more revenue across the payments industry. Their best customer isn't the broke customer. It's the customer who never hesitates. But here's the catch nobody talks about. The biggest threat to Kakeibo isn't laziness, it's the first week. When you start tracking, you see everything and it's uncomfortable. You realize your occasional coffee habit is $87 a month. Your we barely eat out is $360. The natural reaction is shame, then avoidance. You stop writing. The journal goes in a drawer. The current pulls you downstream again. You don't actually have a savings problem, you have an awareness problem. The money isn't disappearing because you can't do math. It's disappearing because you can't see it leaving. That sounds harsh. But when people push past the discomfort of week one and stick with it for a full month, they often find meaningful savings because awareness changes behavior. The journal is just the delivery mechanism. So here's how you set this up tonight. Step 1, calculate your invisible spending number. Pull up last month's bank statement. Add up your fixed non-negotiable expenses. Subtract that from your total take-home. What remains is your variable spending. Now go through and highlight every transaction you specifically remember choosing. Everything unhighlighted is your invisible number. If it's below 10% of your variable spending, you're more intentional than most. If it's above 20%, Kakeibo was built for you. If you don't have time for a full audit tonight, just look at the last 7 days. Count the taps you remember versus the ones you don't. That ratio tells you the story. Step 2. Set up your Kakeibo journal with the Savings First formula. Grab any notebook. Page 1 is this month's take-home income. Subtract your savings target first. Start with 5% if you've never done this, 10% if you have some cushion. What remains after fixed expenses is your true variable budget. Divide that across the 4 categories and write every single purchase in its category. Every one. Research in behavioral science suggests that writing things down increases attention and creates a micro-pause that interrupts autopilot spending. The friction is the feature. Step 3, the monthly reflection. On the last day of each month, answer 4 questions in your journal. How much did I save? Did I hit my target? What surprised me? What will I do differently? Without reflection, tracking is just record keeping. With it, tracking becomes behavior change. Do this for 3 consecutive months and the habits become self-sustaining. The anchor holds. Hani Motoko introduced Kakeibo in 1904 because she believed something radical for her time. That ordinary people, not banks, not governments, should be the ones who understand and direct their own money. 120 years later, the current has only gotten faster. The taps are quicker, the friction is gone. But the anchor still works. A pen, a notebook, a 2-second pause between wanting and spending. That pause is worth more than any budgeting app because it gives you back the one thing the system is designed to take from you. The conscious choice. That $4 air filter? You were right to be careful. You just need to bring that same intentionality to the other 400. Open your bank statement tonight and calculate your invisible spending number. Then drop it in the comments, just the percentage. No judgment. Let's see where we all stand.